Hey folks. Oh, gee. uh, I'm tired, but I'm not tired. But I'm not even sure if I should make this video. Honestly, I thought about making a video like this 2 or 3 months ago, but I guess in some ways that for me, talking about it maybe will get it off my chest or maybe be relatable to people that don't even do YouTube because what I've seen with social media, when I say social media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, um, can be a very sometimes negative environment. And honestly, it's hard talking about it because here I am talking. I'm down actually in my basement where I keep some of my inventory, and I don't really ever film. I'm going to film a little bit more. I'm not quitting YouTube, and I honestly don't want to quit YouTube because I think sometimes the negative people or the people, the trolls, the haters that don't like what you're doing, you sort of like they sit there smiling or I don't know, you know. I hope anybody that's taken the time to listen to what I'm going to say in this video is maybe can appreciate the fact that there is so much relatable to, clearly what I do. And it just doesn't happen. And I want to be clear because I think anybody that comes across this video that is even a non-reseller, now, in case you're wondering what a reseller is, a person who basically, buys stuff to resell. On whether you, for me, it's selling it on eBay or Facebook and sometimes YouTube and Amazon, and really trying to make a living doing this. And I come from a background being in the restaurant for 20 years, and I had to close it down because it's now 6 years ago I found out I had cancer and had 4 surgeries and 41 rounds of radiation and competition at the same time. It just got in the seasonality of the area that $1 million business just boom like that. Had to close it down and I paid a mortgage for 12 years and all that was gone. And even though went bankrupt doing it, you still have to pay taxes that are relatable to that business that don't go away in bankruptcy. So worked hard all those years and never. I started seeing some of the ugliness on social media when people would come in and just stupid things and go on Yelp and make rude comments. And it's funny because you could feed 50,000 people and take 10 idiots a year leaving comments and stuff that were just sometimes so petty. Like I got my pancakes were cold. Like they took the time to went home and complain about their pancakes being cold. And I know you guys say, well, their pancakes were cold, Pat. They had a legitimate gripe, but they never sometimes would address it there or something like that. I don't know. I know being in public and being what I don't understand, and I look, guys, and I apologize for rambling on, not reading nothing. Just kind of this stuff is been working on me a little bit and wanted to share and talk about it. And do I delete the video or not afterwards? Well, I don't know. Do people do people or is there a person that kind of agrees with me on what I'm saying, and just in life, not just social media, but because they want to be spiteful, they're gonna thumbs down, or they're just gonna be rude and write mean comments, and we've just become a mean, or maybe we've been this way and we just didn't know it because social media exposed it more. But like I see pictures, like people will post pictures online on Facebook. I don't even take friend requests on Facebook. I mean, I remember somebody was bad mouthing a business. This was about 10 days ago on my personal Facebook, and I was like, why can't just take it up with the owner and just be nice? And oh my God, there was like 2 or 3 people attacking me for, and I always say sometimes people have a voice that shouldn't. I mean, we have freedom of speech, but if you're going to be so hateful and mean about it, honestly, and I'm looking down because I'm trying not to get upset about any of this by looking at the camera, and you see me smile and laugh a little bit, and um, it's not easy talking about. I guess you guys are my free counselor. Even Tony Soprano used to pay to go to Dr. Melfi. So I know that's just a TV show, but I'm sure it was actually one of my favorite TV shows, and but no, I just can't believe it, and even and if you know who I am, in the beginning when I first was doing YouTube, I used to interview and talk to a lot of people, and to build the channel up, and got to a point where, because of the negativity of social media, and just I didn't want anybody ever on my channel to say anything bad about anybody else, or bring up politics, or just because at the end of the day, people, and that's what I'm going to say when it comes to politics, people vote for their own personal reason. Sometimes the economy could be in a total gutter, but something that they're honed in on, maybe one president doesn't like cats, but the other president loves cats, and someone's a cat lover, and they're gonna be like, that's it, I'm voting for that guy. And you're not going to change that person's opinion, no matter what. So, and I think we got to be respectful of that, even though clearly there's a big issue in this country, that people are so divided, and that we can't. And I don't think that'll ever be fixed. I think the world is divided. I think, and that's the sad part. I mean, if somebody doesn't agree with you, people are, oh, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, and you know, I just recently, my sister-in-law doesn't watch me, so that's one thing with YouTube, and a lot of times it's very hard to get friends or family to support you. Not that I have many, but I blocked my brother-in-law because he was posting hateful comments about women in politics, and really nasty, and he has 3 daughters, and I just thought it was inappropriate, and I called my sister-in-law up and said, no, I'm not, no more. And I said, I'm blocking your husband. She told me, I don't blame you. And I just can't live like that and be fake, and gotta, as we get older, I always hope that we become better humans, because we learn. And especially when we're raising kids, and I feel honestly that I'm a better person than I was 25 years ago. you know some so I know sometimes, even with my first son, that I always kind of share the story about walking down the the toy aisle at Walmart and hollering at him for touching toys, you know, and then say to myself like, oh, yeah. I didn't have good good parents, and I know now some people are. I'm cringing just saying that because even some people that are my friends would be like, "Oh, Pat, who cares? We've all had issues, and I had a bad background." It doesn't discount the fact that what I went through, and I'm not discounting anybody. There's people that have had it worse off. I mean, there's parents that kill their kids. My parents didn't kill me. I might have got beat as a kid and not treated too nice, but yeah, it's hard to argue with that there's parents out there that kill their kid. Yeah, I can't. So I have it better. I get it. So not looking for guys, and I'm not looking. There's no sympathy needed here. Honestly, how do I say? Life is good if you have a roof over your head, if you have food in your belly, if you have that's not only it though. You got to have someone that basically that you feel that loves you and supports you, and for me that is a very small, because I only have my wife and my two sons. And honestly, what happens is with your kids as they get older, they're kind of doing their own thing. So I know with me personally, I feel like you lose connection with them, and it's not the same. Yeah, but they want to do their own thing, and you got to let them do, and not kind of be a burden on them and hold them back, or kind of be selfish and like, hey, I want your time to be on my time, and but going back to that Walmart, the hell was I going down the toy aisle for? So it's funny because now I was going down the toy aisle because I wanted some of those toys, and I didn't get much toys as a kid. Salvation Army sometimes at Christmas time, and parents had money for booze and cigarettes, but there was no like. I mean, there's parents out there every time they take their kids to the store, and now I'm just so much different. I was different with my second one. We'd go down and but yeah, I did a lot with the kids. Went to wrestling. We went to Disney. We went to parks, and always felt I sacrificed. Never owned personally me a new car. Now my wife been with my wife since I'm 16, so over the last 33 years, we got 3 new cars. And our first car, it was a Geo Metro, was $8,000. Second car was a Chevy Cavalier, which was $15,000, and then our third new car was a Ford Freestyle, which was around $23,000. So, and I always wanted her to have the better vehicle, so that when she was driving around the kids and I was working different shifts, and sometimes she was home certain times, and always was a better parent because Patdees wasn't too keen on. Patdees would change diapers, but not many. So, my wife is great wife and a mother, and I'd rather had worked the overtime than had done some of those things. And I wanted to be the breadwinner, and now roles are reversed. My wife is the breadwinner, and I do this reselling thing. So, but I don't know. Two things. The other day, it sucks. I'm like, I don't get people. Just found it so disrespectful. I have Rachel Strickland on an interview, and some guy's in there. I'm not gonna mention his name because now tonight I see that he commented on a friend of mine. I'm friends with Steve Alcorn, Flips, and he made a video talking about some credit card debt and life as a reseller, and and I can relate to him. And about, struggles of life and what you go through, and that's the big problem, really. Where's sometimes the sense of community? When you're doing reselling, you don't have in other words, you're not having people come over to your house and kind of like when you go to work. Honestly, that's one thing nice about working is if you have a good group of people, you have a good time and do your job, get paid every Friday. Obviously reselling, and there are a lot of resellers out there that I look up to, and that freedom to be able to, if you're successful at doing this, you can make your own schedule. But that doesn't mean you kind of have to. You can't be lazy or back off, and you got to keep pushing forward. So, but last year I interviewed, I think, 7 people, and Rachel, I want to bring her back for teasing. She used to be Miss Missouri, so she was on last January, and I said, bring her on for January, call her Miss January, and somebody, and I'm not an uptight person, but someone making jokes in the chat, basically, that are I'm here interviewing a good looking lady that I consider friendly with. We've talked several times. She's been on the channel twice, and I wouldn't say we're friends. I don't want to say that, because that's always that word friend sometimes could be misconstrued. And I've always thought I was respectful towards people and guests, and have filters in place. But he found it funny to make the person found it funny to just make disrespectful, rude comments. And then I see that same person, so I blocked them that night, and I see that same person commented on Steve's video, and I read his comment tonight, and it's a person, I don't know who it is. It's probably a person that, obviously, if they comment on Steve's video, they know me, and they're probably a level-headed, good person, but they just found it funny at the wrong time when I'm interviewing somebody, and I'm trying to keep this wholesome image on my channel and do the right thing. I mean, if I've watched Howard Stern in the past, I've watched Dave Chappelle, and jokes are jokes, but that's me between that and the television and laughing. And when you're bringing someone in your house, or you have an employee, or they're a guest on your channel, it's just not a way to. And I take it serious. I mean, I have a couple friends. They know I'm not. I mean, I never used to even curse, and now it becomes a little bit like, I was hanging out. Brian, Mr. Buys a lot, who I'm friends with, sends me a message yesterday and says, "Hey Pat, you want to come down? You're bored, And we bust each other's chops, and once in a while you're cursing a little bit, but you're not cursing to be malice or mean. You're just, I call it playful bantering, but because I always worry, honestly, if I ever hurt anybody's feelings, that that kills me. Like, I'm never the type of person to want to go to bed to, that knowing that if I upset or hurt someone's feelings in a way that was, mean spirited. Can we have disagreements as people? And yeah, of course. But then the second thing that happened the same week is, and I know people, I made a video doing the reseller boxes, and I hear the complaints. People will throw certain other YouTubers underneath the bus that are, doing Patreons or any kind of, join this membership, join this. And I don't get the hate towards any of that. Not that I don't do anything. I don't have Patreon. I don't have channel membership. I'm not teaching anything, or and I'm not against none of that, because honestly, you as an individual make a choice. No one holds a gun to your head to go and join those things, patronize, or give. It's your money. You do what you want, but I had, basically I presented a box of 40 plus items, $750 brand new Target items, and for 125 bucks. And wow, sold a couple of them, but I get it. People don't want to list sometimes clothes or maybe anything. It's fine, but just the behind the scenes, I could see the sometimes comments that you guys can't see, or thumbs down, and I just I don't know. I just don't get it. I know, oh Pat, that's the way it is. If you put yourself out there, you give the people, you give people permission to be to be jerks, and it sucks. So, and it's very hard because you don't get friends to kind of like chat. I mean, if you don't want to list clothes, for example, on that you're not gonna. It doesn't even matter. But um, and yet, and again, I'm not reading this as it goes. I'll see some YouTubers or people doing whatnot or doing YouTube, and they're selling stuff, or they're doing things that people just hand over fist throw money at. Hand over, I could have I could have this game on there for $5. It could sit for 6 months. But boy, if I'm a YouTuber or a whatnotter that has 50,000 followers, people are paying more than they would pay at Walmart and Target, and I just sometimes do. I mean, I get it. People get caught up in the celebrity, and do I sound a little jealous? And nah, I'm being real. I'm being I'm like I mean I've been guilty of it. I used to super chat some of these people that I generally liked what they were doing, but sometimes you want them to throw you a bone, or come by and say hello or support or comment on your video. Nope. They'll even say like, nah, we don't watch other resellers and stuff like that, and then, so I don't know where am I going with this. I guess one thing, and I don't want to get too long because I'm watching the timer. We're already at 22 minutes, and I don't know how many people are. It's I don't know. It's sad. It's just sad. I'm just upset with how people just treat one another, and it's not going to change. It's not going to just. It's how it is. Uh, that's why a lot of times I stay to myself. I try to keep my circle small. I tell people, if you want to, I don't take no friend requests. You can follow me on Instagram and the traveling picker Patdees on Facebook, but I don't take no friend requests, honestly, because I have pictures of my kids on there for the last 20 years, and that's just the no with me. That if people cross a line or just say something stupid, that no, they're even with my wife, they don't. I want to say dad, meaning me, does this because of his situation. People used to say to me, Pat, do the boys want the restaurant? I'm like, no, I don't want them to have the restaurant. My older son runs his own. He worked for Genuine Parts, a big company, and runs a auto parts store, and went to college, and he's now married, and he's doing pretty good, and financially, and my youngest son works for a government contractor, and financially they're doing so much better than I ever did, ever at a job. I mean, it's amazing out there that, I mean, Walmart just announced $14 minimum wage, and I mean, I know a lot of places now 15, 17. I would have, oh man, $15, $17 an hour. It's a good wage, even though get that debate. Oh well, everything's so much more expensive. I know, but I don't want to debate that with people too, because priorities, folks. You don't need a $1,400 rental. Maybe you find something for $900. And of course, anybody who's watching this video could be going out to different places. I'm not debating that. I'm not debating a fair wage and stuff like that. I just know what I worked with, and what I did for my kids, and sacrifices I made on a lot less, and we did it. We're here. We're fine. And this reselling's gotta work. If you notice, I only did 2 videos in December. I haven't really. Social media can even doing YouTube. It's very disappointing at times. I don't. And then I got to remind myself, Pat, you're a little fish in a big sea of 53 million. And some people hit the YouTube lotto. They get lucky. They do good. Then they just keep feeding it, and I don't want to. I don't make any videos where I have to fake anything or create some sort of. I mean, you watch other people and you get ideas. Oh, maybe I should have made a video about that. And and then even if you do that, then somebody else is going to be like, "Oh, you're copying." Look, everything's been done. Everything's been done in life. Everything's been done by somebody else, and no one's purposely, I hope, trying to copy. When I do these videos, I'm sharing, and I did over the last 3.5 years. I deleted a lot of personal videos that weren't related to reselling because I felt like they hurt the channel. So this video is about my life as a reseller, not working and doing this, and tying it with social media and trying to avoid the negativity kind of making me rethink. I don't want to say I'm too damn old, because I'm not in a hurry to leave yet. I'm hoping around another 30, 35 years. But I'm hustling, and I'm going to do videos that show. I've been listing since July 4th every day, and the numbers have improved. I always thought I was a good hustler, a good business guy. I guess I'm just not the that lovable face that people want to watch on YouTube or social media. I don't know. It's so sometimes frustrating, and then people just feel the need to be so negative. I don't get it. I'm sometimes puzzled and perplexed at the same time. So there's a lot of people out there that are great resellers. I have a friend, I don't know if she's going to watch this. Her name is Bridget. She lives in New York, and she's been very nice to me. And sometimes it's just something simple. Hey, Pat, how you doing? And, hey, I saw your video. Good job. And those little words of encouragement are nice. Even though she doesn't comment on my videos, she messages me once in a while privately. And it might be 3-4 months might go by, and all of a sudden she'll, and then I engage with her and say, hey, and she posts her sales, and it's like, wow. And some people who don't do YouTube say, Pat, your focus should be on growing the business. Absolutely, I agree. I mean, I am a 99% reseller, 1% YouTuber, and I'm not sad that YouTube is not as, I mean, this is me, and not ranting. Just basically the negativity of social media. Sometimes it's like, and I want to use social media like the reason I haven't done any more whatnots. I don't feel like I'm just not ready to do more yet, because you have a person that can present this for $1 or $2 and struggle to get $1 or $2, when really they could have went out and paid $3 for it. Well, I'm not going to sell stuff at $1 or $2 loss. And then you have the other crowd that the value every day you could drive to Walmart or Target and buy it for 10, and because who's selling it is getting 15. Well, that's not. I'm not. If it's a collectible, that's a different story. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not going to edit this at all. I'm not going to even add my 12-second dun 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 with the plane and taking off, because even people sometimes criticize that. It's like, oh my god, don't people nothing better to do. And again, what gives people permission to? I have honestly, and swear to God, I've never trolled anybody. I've never thumbs down. I think the only video I ever thumbs down before I was a YouTuber, in a sense, making my own videos, was somebody was mean to an animal or something like that, and I'm like, wow, how could you do that to a defenseless? Like when people do things to kids or animal, But like I've never thumbs down a reseller or anybody. I just, sometimes when I'm listing and stuff like that, I listen to wrestling shoots and People's Court, and sometimes I listen to other channels that are reselling, or but I promised myself 2023 that and I'm not, honestly, I'm not. People say, "Oh, you're being negative." No, I'm not. I'm not. Negative would be, that's it. I'm quitting YouTube. I'm quitting reselling. I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing and feel sorry for myself. That's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. I may do less YouTube and put myself out there, but reselling wise, this is something that eventually, once my wife is done working, this I plan to do forever. And I was hoping to kind of share my story, and with people that this was a restart for me. This was a like, hey Pat, you stumbled, you lost a lot, $500,000, you beat cancer. I a lot of guilt comes across me knowing, and I beat cancer, and sadly to say, when I found out I had cancer about 5 months before that, no, maybe 6 months. My sister, who was a year younger than me, was found dead in a Philadelphia apartment, and she wound up she got epilepsy when she was a kid, and that was from an abusive situation. And she died. She was found, and yet here I beat it. And I tell you, I'm gonna share a little. Probably should have closed up my restaurant sooner, but pride and wanting to not give up and hang in there, and that nut was $25,000 a month. The expenses I have doing reselling are nothing. What I got to do, and I want to be a better business person. And I've been talking to a couple guys privately, hanging out, but I got to figure out a way. And I still going to buy pallets. I still going to do yard sales, flea markets, and I'm going to buy stuff to flip. And hustle and make money. That's what I'm going to do. It's gonna change that, but I got to figure out a way that when I buy 2 pallets and I'm got 100 of this dress, 100 of these, how to wholesale it. Now, someone like made a rude comment. Well, why would you do that if it's so profitable? At the end of the day, if I have, let's say, $2 in a pair of pants, a dress, or whatever it is, and even if I make 50 cents, if I sell 10 boxes and I make $20, there's $200 on 10 boxes. That's $200. Now, the price is fair and affordable for somebody else to give them the opportunity, because they don't want to buy a large pallet. And it's like, I shouldn't even have to explain business. Yeah, I even asked the person, "Are you a reseller?" They didn't answer, but I didn't delete the comment. And so sometimes you want to naturally respond, like, go pound sand and stuff like that. Sometimes you're like, no, just pat, kind of, maybe they're misunderstood or misinformed, but again, it just goes back to that social media negativity, that people just feel the right to abuse. I saw, and this has been working. Saw someone today, the same group that I had made somebody, and maybe, sometimes people put their foot in their mouth. I get it, and like sometimes you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that person said that. But people get in pissing matches on there, and then all of a sudden it's like everybody comes out of the wood, like there was somebody saying they're leaving Facebook because and I don't know the whole story, but man, just the attack. What warrants anybody to just go after somebody for, I don't know. I honestly, and as I'm thinking, Reselling is, in a sense, it's a job. It's a job. That's what I do. I buy and sell things. But life is short, and it's supposed to be fun and loving. We can disagree. There are people we're not going to like. I mean, talking to my wife this week, she was stressed out, and people are calling her workplace and, oh, your employees are incompetent, and and just saying, oh, this is what happened. So my wife's like, okay, well, I'll talk to the employees, and they have cameras. All these places have cameras, so they look back at the scenario and they try to, because do you holler at the employee? Do you hear? Oh, no, you want to hear the story, and okay, go and look and check, and and I mean nowadays even the computers are tied to the cash register, so you can see if someone gave you five. And this lady was just totally like rude on the phone, and like my wife this week, and f off, and then obviously hung up, and then hung up the phone, because they want to be able to come and bark and say, this ain't right, that ain't right, I want my $10, and I'm still gonna scream and holler at you, and then you say, whoa, like it doesn't matter. It's like you can't argue with stupid or just mean people. And I think generally I try to be such a nice guy, and some people don't know how to take me because I banter with people, and I'll go and, hey, and sometimes they're like, oh, like some places they just want you to go in and get your stuff and get the hell out. Don't, hey, how you doing? Like sometimes I'm like, they're quiet. Hey, how you doing? All right. Oh, selling a lot? No. And they look at you like, okay, just saying hello and how are you doing? And I mean, I was at a Goodwill the other day, and the lady was so nice, and I said, oh, she goes, no, I usually work in the back. I said to her, yeah, sometimes those older ladies, they don't like me. I said, they don't. Yeah, she goes, it's funny that you say that, because the one I told her, why are you so, and she laughed, and I don't know if it's just dealing with customers that some people get to that hardcore that they throw everybody in a group to, like, you run into jerks, and then what happens is you get 2 jerks out of 100, but then the other 98 people have to suffer because they have that hard exterior, and treating everybody the same as and it's hard. Like, I'll go in, hey, how you doing? All right. I'm like, okay, are those shirts up? Nope. And okay, well, they're right there. Like, okay. I can tell you the lady the other day, and I'm going to do a video on it. I don't want to ever give up on the Goodwill because the score, and you know what? I feel better actually now towards the end of this video. I'm sorry, 37 minutes if you waited this long. I do feel better, and I do have hope with people, and the people that are good to me, thank you. The people that leave comments on my videos. John Jones used to leave a comment all the time. I don't know what happened, but he's not leaving comments no more. Now he's going to feel guilty. Oh, Pat. He goes, I leave 13 comments an hour on the videos I watch. I've taken a break in January. But the comments do mean a lot. They really do. And positive comments. I don't need... I'm getting some people... my hair's... been showing gray, and I'm not doing no just for men, but so I wish I could just be a little bit, and that's my weakness, and it's always has been a little bit, I guess, not too sensitive, a little bit more. I don't want to have that attitude, because some people are like, screw them, who cares? I care. It bothers me. And it's funny because when sometimes people say that to me, I'll give them a scenario. Oh, yeah, you care too then. You're just saying, you're trying to tell me not to care because it doesn't affect you. But we should all care about it. What we need, and we need more of this. If we see people bullying or acting like a fool, somebody needs to stand up and say, no, stop it. But you got a lot of parents, like kids. I mean, kids get jobs and they talk to the boss like, I know this happens. The boss will say, hey, you can't be on your cell phone. We're paying you. And they're calling their mother. Can you believe they're telling me I can't be on my cell phone? This is bullshit. It's like, and then, and yeah, put your cell phone in your car if you have to. Okay, you can't have you in there because you need to make a call an emergency, or okay. And I got people on here going to say, oh, Pat, what happens if, it always give the worst case scenario, but, cell phones have become the most, and I guess that's part of social media too, because we can quick do this. So, but I do plan on having locker nuts on in February. My birthday is coming up soon. And I asked Jack honestly is probably my favorite channel because just a good fella. Seems sincere. And just a lot of respect for Jack. And I don't know if he probably don't watch my video because they're too busy. Everybody's busy. I hear that a lot too. Everybody's busy. If someone passes away and, oh, I wish I haven't talked. Well, when was the last time you talked to him? Oh, it's been 7 years. You're that busy, huh? You're that busy you can't say hello or... Look, I'm not telling anybody how to behave or act. I'm talking about how I feel about this. And I'm sure there's people that can relate to exactly what I'm saying. And I want to be mindful of how I am. I do feel that I'm a better human being than I was 25 years ago. And I hope that, I'm not giving up on YouTube, not giving up on social media. It's a lot I want to do. I want to share my story. I'm hoping 5 years from now to bounce back and say, hey, I lost the restaurant and I closed it down and this is what I'm doing. And people are like, wow, that's amazing that, yeah, he bounced back and did this, and he's plugging along, But everybody's important. Even that guy that pushes the carts do they push carts at Walmart anymore? No, they use those electronic, the buggy things with the... Pretty soon they'll have, actually, I was just thinking about that. You know how they have robots that do the lawn and do the carpeting? Pretty soon they'll have robots that will probably be able to go out and record... battery power down 5%, so I got to cut it short. This is what I'll say. So they'll go out and get the carts and bring them back automatically and be able to see. So, guys, apology if this is too long and if it bored the hell out of you. I just want to kind of hang with you guys and chat. And thank you. Thank you if you made it this long. I appreciate it. So, have a good weekend. I'm going to do more videos soon. And a lot of goals this year. Gotta set goals. Gotta be goal oriented and stay positive. So, thank you. Appreciate the support.